Hello, welcome to day 22 of the Get Up and Go Challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and I was thinking this morning about all of the things that we've talked about so far, and I'm going to go back and look at my notes and look at the days and make sure that I'm covering everything I want to cover in this challenge and that we're getting you everything that you need to guarantee that you're better off at the end of April than you were at the beginning of April when we started this 30-day Get Up and Go Challenge. I hope you're feeling more energized. I hope you're feeling better and more confident in your ability to get things done. And one of the topics, and I think we might have touched on it, but I want to give it the energy and the time that it's due, is to talk about our mind, a mindset. And I'm not going to go deep on this because there is so much information out there that you can look into and you can dive into. If you need more resources on this, just ask in the comments below and I'll be glad to recommend some of my favorite ones. We're all different, so what we are attracted to and what feels right for us when it comes to studying the mind and the brain and everything else. And guess what? You don't need to study the mind, the brain and the mind in order to make yours work better. I say keep it simple, start out small, do what works for you. And I say that about everything. But we talked about yesterday the importance of how we look at things and how we see things. And some of the other things around that I meant to touch on, but I don't think I did because I was hurrying up, was that every experience that we have is for our benefit. It definitely doesn't feel like it at the time, right? Going through this COVID pandemic doesn't feel like it is essentially and for our benefit. But if we choose to look on the other side of that and see what is in it for us, there is so much and there are so many ways we can benefit from this current situation. My lights are funky. I did buy a new light, I'm just not using it yet. So if we take the perspective that everything that happens to me, around me, and through me is for my benefit, we see things differently than if we feel like the world and the universe is out to get us and we're screwed, and that's something that we absolutely positively have control over. We can choose how we see things. So not only do we filter things based on what we're willing to see, we can actually impact and choose and decide what we want to see and how we want to experience things. It's really powerful and very, gives us a lot more control than we really think that we have. And that all stems from, of course, our believing that we can and our mindset. Now, we can have a closed, nothing is possible, negative, doubtful, fearful, worry-filled mindset and belief and way of looking at the world and our life, or we can have a positive, abundant, possibility, open, light way of looking at our life and at our world and at the situations that happen around us. We always 100% have the power and the personal responsibility to determine and interpret everything that happens to us and then decide how we're going to respond. That's our job as human beings. I need a sip. So today, I want to challenge you to do a couple things. My favorite way to experience personally firsthand an abundance mentality. It's a really good time of year around here because it's spring, so everything's starting to bud and bloom and grow, and I can look out the window and I can see abundance all around me, right? I used to like to walk on the beach because walking on the sand, I would think, oh my gosh, how many grains of sand are there on just this beach? And there's how many beaches in this state and how many beaches in the world. And I live in Wisconsin, so we don't have a lot of beaches except on lakes, and many of them are not sandy beaches. But my point was, if there's this many grains of sand, if there's this many leaves on a tree that fall off and grow and return every year, if there's this many blades of grass that come up, it just is a way to easily see and physically appreciate the massive abundance of nature in our world. And we want to have a possibility, can do, what else is possible way of approaching our life, so that no matter what happens to us, no matter what happens around us, no matter what other people are doing and saying and thinking and believing, we can choose to have the perspective that works best for us. So today, our assignment is really, really simple. All we're going to do is we are going to go out in nature, some way, shape, or form. Even if we just peek our head out the window and we let the sun shine on our face, hopefully it's not raining where you are when I say this, but if it is, then do it tomorrow or do it when it's not raining. But just look for something in nature that reminds you of abundance and share that in the comments below. Maybe it's, you know, it's a super cloudy day and you see all kinds of puffy, beautiful little clouds floating by, and that makes you feel like it's an abundant universe, an abundant world. Maybe, like me, you look for grains of sand, blades of grass, but just notice something that there's a lot of, that there's an abundance of, that there's more than enough of. Instead of focusing on we don't have enough toilet paper, or we can't get Clorox wipes, or whatever, and what we can't do, focus on what we can do and what there is plenty of right now. I was laughing. I haven't been to the stores for several weeks now, but I did go to a Target with my son, and I noticed that there's certain things that there's just a ton of. There's a ton of makeup and cosmetic products and things in the stores. So there's an abundance of those type things, even though we feel like there are shortages of other things. So today it's just a really easy day. Find a way to feed your brain, feed your mind, and we feed our mind and we get an abundance mentality by focusing on what is working, not on what isn't working. Focusing on solutions, not the problems. Focusing on the future and what we want, and actually being present right now, not on what's happened in the past. So there's lots of easy ways to do that. If you'd like me to talk about some more ways to do that, to get a more abundant mentality, hit me up in the comments below and we'll talk about it some more during the challenge. But otherwise, I just want to give you a little bit of a skimming of the topic and perspective. Again, there's a gazillion ways, morning Randy, there's a gazillion ways you can get more information about anything these days, but I want to break it down to just what's important, because you don't need to know everything to get the results that you want. Have an amazing day. If I can help you in any way, ask in the comments below. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow for day 23 of our Get Up and Go challenge. Get up and go. You got this.